Hey guys, it's Black Man on Spider-Man, and I'm going to be doing a episode breakdown of the first two episodes of Marvel Spider-Man Horizon Higher Part 1 and Part 2. I'm not going to do a synopsis. You've seen the episodes. If you haven't, you're just going to have to deal with the way I'm doing it, because doing synopsises are stupid. But let's break this down. First off, this show so far, it's only two episodes in, so I'm not going to make grand statements like it's bad or whatever. I'm judging it on the first two episodes, because I think some people are jumping the gun by saying it's bad when it's just been two episodes. Dudes, calm down. The show that everybody hails so much, Game of Thrones, didn't even get good until season 2. Debatable season 3. So give this show a bit more of a chance than saying it's terrible. But so far, it's incredibly frustrating, but not because it's bad, more so because it's a mixed bag. Like, there's some things I love so far, and there's some things that are annoying. We have a flashback with Uncle Ben, and there's two flashbacks featured within this show with Uncle Ben, which were good. I like the fact that, okay, in the origin episodes we got before, we saw that Uncle Ben died, and they did that in a really cool way, to where it was just like, you saw the gunshot, you saw Peter talking about what makes up the components of a gun, the different metals, and then you see a gunshot, and that was really, really cool, the way they did it in such a subtle way. But we get two flashbacks, and Uncle Ben gives Peter a formula, and the formula is about how having great power, blah blah blah, you know, the great power, great responsibility thing, which Peter later attaches to his bag. That first flashback was really, really cool, and it was also one of the things that I want to point out that this show has done well. It's OST. Like, the main theme Peter has is such a strong OST that I could see myself humming to, which not all cartoons, like even Marvel's live action movies, haven't gotten this right, to having the characters have a main theme. You know, like how Wonder Woman has dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, or Star Wars has its main theme, like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Like, Marvel shows don't always have that, and this show does have its strong main theme. It's like, and it plays all throughout, and I'm gonna be continually humming that, and that's a very, very important thing, especially to Spider-Man, because when people think of Spider-Man, they think Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Like, you gotta have a good OST, and I think that main OST is great, and they featured a slow version of it within the flashback, and they featured different renditions of it throughout the episodes, which is great. But moving on, which is where another place where they featured the main theme, was the intro, or I guess lack of intro. This pissed me off. Like, Spectacular Spider-Man had the spectacular. No, they don't have any of that. They have like a Young Justice type intro, to where it's like a very short 10 to 15 second thing. Like, you see the Marvel, like, you know, the Marvel flipbook thing where you see all the comic pages, and then Peter swings onto the logo, and it's just, that's it. And it's like, great. I hate how Disney XD, every single time they get a Marvel show, they don't include theme music. We need damn theme music. Okay, that was stupid. Next, Miles Morales. Whoa, this is another problem with the whole show. It's too fast paced. There's one aspect of it that wasn't fast paced, but a lot of it was fast paced. Introductions of characters was fast paced. What is Miles Morales doing in this show already? Like, first episode we get Miles Morales, and I think when they first teased this show, it was meant to be a team up Spider-Man show, so you have 3 Spider-Mans, 3 spiders, and then like Peter's in there, and you have 2 other ones, and blah blah blah. But already having Miles Morales, and I've seen other teasers with the black suit, like, they're just going too fast. And the reason why I'm saying they're going too fast is not just Miles Morales, which I'll get back to why Miles Morales is problematic. Problematic. But like, the Vulture is the first villain, which, okay, that's cool, because in Spectacular the Vulture was the first villain, and they seem to be taking a lot from Raimi's take and the Spectacular series, which is cool, but we don't even get to know the Vulture that much. It's like he isn't given moments to himself to, like, build himself up, which is what Spectacular did pretty well with its villains. That it took time for them to be alone without Peter and develop them so you know where they're coming from. No, he just storms in. And another problem is Scorpion does the same thing. Scorpion's just this random mook that's robbing something and Peter stops him. And it's just like, everything's getting introduced too fast. They use every single opportunity to name drop a person from the Spider-Man lore. So we have Hannah Watson, which is obviously Mary Jane Watson's mother or whatever. Miles Morales. We have Anya, who's more from I think she's more from the Ultimate comics, because I'm not too familiar with Anya, but I think she's from the Ultimate comics. So we have her. Dr. Ock, like Dr. Xavier, like that dude's introduced as well. Look, all of these characters are just getting introduced really, really, really fast, and it's just like, I wish this show would take its time to introduce everyone. We barely got to grips with what Harry's about. Why do we have Miles Morales, Dr. Ock, the Vulture, the Scorpion, a name drop to... I mean, they even have a name drop to Wakanda. Because when Anya's talking about how her thing works, she name drops Wakanda. It just seems like they wanted to just throw in every reference they could. Another thing is Peter. Peter is just... Oh, man, Peter... What are you guys doing with Peter? He, in some ways, I like him. I like him when he has some of the more serious moments contemplating about Uncle Ben. Like the flashback at the start, and then we have the flashback at the end, where he's talking about how, like, we have second chances, and, you know, my second chance, instead of being a celeb, I can be a hero. Like, moments like that are great, but what makes Peter annoying is, like, the science stuff. The science stuff was good, in that I like that Peter's smart, and he's a scientist, and it's better than Homecoming, so where Tony Stark literally makes everything for Peter. In Homecoming, we know Peter's smart because of the whole, like, he's part of the science crew or whatever, and we do get that one shot of him, like, tinkering about with webbing stuff inside class, which is really, really cool. But Tony Stark makes all of this stuff for him. In this show, one of the things that wasn't fast-paced is that we actually see Peter makes his own suit, which was great. Like, there was a progression. It was like episode 1, he has the whole sort of hand-me-down ghetto version of his suit, and then he makes his suit inside Horizon High, which was brilliant. But why I'm saying it's annoying is because it isn't just that Peter is a smart guy and a scientist. That would be cool, but everything he says has to be some type of scientific joke, or him showing that he's a huge science otaku and he has a huge boner for everything science. It's just kind of annoying. It's like, in Spectacular, he was smart, but they relegated his geeky science stuff to when he was around his close friends, or to when he was in the labs with Dr. Connors, which was cool. So you got a more grounded and well-rounded character. He seemed like the average Joe in some ways, but he was super into science, which was cool. You know, that was a cool sort of mix. It wasn't just that he was just really insufferable, annoying science guy, which, again, I like him being smart, but he doesn't have him be a more well-grounded character than him just being science all the time. It's like you just want to make this just for kids, and it's like, he's into science, so we have to whack it over the head of the person every single time that he makes science jokes. It was silly. It really was. So, and it's not even the science things. Like, he just makes stupid comments, like the comment about, like, when they're all inside Horizon High, and Miles Morales has his, like, little robot thing, and everyone makes a smart sort of conclusion as to why it's malfunctioning, but Peter's like, no, was it the fact that I'm wearing boxers or briefs? I'm like, ugh. Some of the dialogue for this was silly. Like, there was the other bit of dialogue when Peter says the 4 W's, and then one of those W's includes a H, and then Liz has to correct him on that. Some of the dialogue's funny, but some of it's just terrible. So there's that. I mean, I like the fact that Peter's even, like, thinking about his webbing, and he designed a suit, but yeah. Harry and Peter being friends... because this is my thing. With Harry and Peter being friends, I don't know how Harry deals with Peter when he's this annoying. I don't know how those two, like, it's cool that they're developing the friendship, but part of it doesn't seem believable to me, because the way Peter acts around Harry is how he acts around everybody for the most part. Like, and I wish they kind of this like when he's around Harry, this could be where you could sort of change his character a bit and add that little bit of nuance to him, but you don't. And Harry himself, Harry's going through this whole I'm making these bombs, but I don't want to tell you, Peter, that I'm making this shady stuff. And it's obvious Harry's going to go down a bad route, which I think they're taking it from Raimi's sort of adaptation of Spider-Man, to where Harry thinks Spider-Man's an utter nuisance and he wants to get rid of him, which I think is interesting too. I don't mind that. But those two have their little friendship. I just think Professor Snape. Oh yeah, with Professor Snape. This is why I'm saying it's fast paced. Already, Professor Snape, he's teaming up with the master. He's saying his master plan. The Vulture. Like, it just seems like all of the villains are being introduced all at the same time, which I'm repeating myself, but whatever. It's just like, I guess that's most of what I wanted to say. I think the train scene had some nice shots and some nice angles, which I really, really liked. But I don't know. The voice acting for Peter was cool. At first, I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I think the voice actor does a pretty solid job with it, and I can't wait to see Laura Bailey as Gwen. That's gonna be great because I love Laura Bailey. But yeah, I think the monologues were great. I think in terms of Peter's character, I like the monologue. The monologue at the start and the monologue at the end of the episodes, they're great, and there's moments where I like him. I just wish you mellowed him out more. But those would be my main criticisms and why I think the show's good and bad. People have problems with the animation and the art. I think the animation and the art is okay. It could be better. It is a little cheap at times, but I don't know. I guess I like the character designing. It's kind of odd, but I like the character designs. I think they did a good job with that, at least, which is probably the reason why I'm not as down on the art and animation as everybody else. But I'll leave it at that. That's my review of the first two episodes. Please fix Peter's character. Make him a bit less insufferable. Slow things down a little bit. Like Miles Morales being a genius and getting into Horizon High before Peter. What the flip. I like the developments with Harry. That's cool. Stop writing stupid dialogue. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's overall, I'd say it's passable. You know, I'm gonna continue watching. I'm not super offended by it. I just think they got room to improve, and it's the first two episodes. They can find their footing. You know, Avatar: The Last Airbender is considered one of the best cartoons ever by people. Season 1 isn't bad by any means, but they still take a few episodes to find their footing. So like, I want to give this show a chance to find its footing, because I think there's very much some potential there to be a really great show. I don't think it'll beat Spectacular ever, because Spectacular is the best thing ever. But we'll see. But anyway, this has been Black Man on Spider-Man. You know, webheads, take up responsibility. But until next time, I'm going to swing out because my city needs me.